Selected 1. A file with your name on it is now in the hands of a powerful person, and you'll know precisely why that file exists and why it's going to give you more power than anybody could have ever dreamed before you complete this. I'm going to give you some important information in the next few minutes that will fundamentally alter the way you see your whole trip. First, why have many people in positions of power been specifically instructed to keep an eye on you? Secondly, your viewers learn something that scares them more than any danger they have ever encountered. The cosmic turnaround that will soon transform surveillance into your coronation comes in third. Because you're doing improperly, you're not being monitored. Because you're doing everything correctly, you're being observed. And it violates all of the playbook's rules. You're ascending without surrendering tactics, succeeding without compromising your ideals, and achieving without permission. Some people now need to grasp how you're winning a game you're not even playing since you've turned into a bug in the Matrix. Consider it this way. While everyone else still thinks the prison walls are made of stone, you, the inmate who has realized that they are really made of paper, are going through them quietly rather than fleeing. The report was recently delivered to the warden. They're now trying to figure out how you knew something that everyone else didn't know for a while. Your energy field underwent a change that caused reverberations across realms that most people are unaware exist. Perhaps it was that work where everyone was taking shortcuts that you left. Perhaps you ended that connection because someone needed you to feel important. Perhaps it was the organization you left when your inquiries raised the possibility of cozy falsehoods. Whatever it was, that moment distinguished you rather than destroyed you. The monitoring began quietly. A few odd coincidences that you most likely disregarded. Calls that ended when you picked them up. Profiles that look at your social media accounts but never interact. Conversations that ended abruptly as you passed. You convinced yourself that it was all in your head. You weren't. Like scientists researching an inconceivable event, you were seeing the beginnings of a coordinated monitoring network that has been tracking you. Security cameras seem to track your movements more when you enter certain places than others. Staff members emerge in your immediate neighborhood with exceptional regularity when you visit certain locations. When you go to events, some people place themselves within hearing of what you're saying. These observations are not paranoid. These are precise evaluations of a very genuine monitoring system that has determined that you are important. Sometimes your phone acts weirdly. When you're going to publish something strong, applications crash. Sometimes when you're sharing transforming ideas, your messages don't go through. When you're expressing truth that contradicts conventional wisdom, your calls come in at handy times. Technical issues. You believe that such recurring patterns are not coincidental. Algorithms, they're specially tuned to your individual frequency, are tracking your digital trail. Additionally, you've seen that when you're organizing a big event, some emails never go through. How certain websites stop working while you're looking at a particular subject. How some platforms abruptly alter their algorithms just as you're starting to acquire traction. There's a reason for these coordinated interruptions. Your online presence jeopardizes narratives that depend on broad consensus to be effective. Technology is just one aspect of the monitoring. Human conduct is another. You've seen how certain people keep coming up in various situations throughout your life. The same faces everywhere, always in the background, yet never far away. The individual who always shows up at the coffee shop. The person at the gym whose schedule coincides with yours inexplicably. The co-worker who is in the vicinity of every significant discussion you have. You see, when you made that crucial choice to choose integrity above inclusivity, you revealed their path in addition to altering your own. Not only did you uphold your standards when you refused to sacrifice them for approval, but you also exposed their lack of them. You didn't simply rescue yourself when you left with your morals untarnished. You became a real example of how other sacrifices were voluntary rather than necessary. The actual viewing started at that point. Not haphazard monitoring, but methodical inquiry. Not casual observation, but purposeful surveillance. Your name became instantly familiar to business leaders who had never met you. Religious leaders began talking about your impact, even though they had never met you before. Politicians from all walks of life started getting briefings on your possible influence. The way this surveillance network functions in many dimensions at once is amazing. In the actual world, you're being watched by cameras, computerized tracking, human intelligence, and other traditional methods. However, something far more complicated is taking place in the spiritual world. Those who recognize that genuine power is not apparent are keeping an eye on your electromagnetic signature. Before you've ever spoken a word, you've seen how certain people respond to you. How, in spite of your calm manner, some people seem anxious around you. How some authoritative people, even if you haven't questioned them, become defensive around you. This is a result of your frequency interfering with their meticulously preserved wavelength. Their artificial harmony is being disrupted by your genuine energy. Recently, you've been having increasingly vivid dreams that are full of symbolism related to revelation and observation. You get the clear impression that crucial information was downloaded while you were asleep. These are not only fantasies. The monitoring is being processed by your subconscious at a level that your conscious mind is only now starting to comprehend. Your spirit is getting you ready for the revelation concerning the people who are watching you. You don't fit into any of the categories that the observers have attempted to use to classify you. You're too independent to be subdued, yet not rebellious enough to be called a troublemaker. You're too strong to be disregarded, yet you're not aggressive enough to be seen as dangerous. You are too powerful to be denied the right to free speech, but you're not loud enough to be silenced. Your inability to fit into any one category permeates every aspect of your existence. Religious categories don't adequately describe your spirituality. Conventional company concepts do not apply to your success. The dynamics of your relationships are not typical. You cannot be controlled via conventional means since your mere being is an act of revolt against the tyranny of categories. Promote this video so that other selected individuals may discover their confirmation whether this message is in line with your mission. Allow me to share with you what has been going on in rooms you will never see. In gatherings when your name is called, but you are not invited. You have been the subject of strategy sessions. Actual meetings with actual decision makers who are attempting to comprehend your path. Your past has been examined in an attempt to uncover the hidden compromise that everyone believes you must be concealing. Your accounts have been examined in an effort to find the illicit funds that must be supporting your rise. Your connections have been examined in an effort to find the exploitation that is undoubtedly there. However, the same unsettling conclusion is reached at the end of every study. In fact, you're clean. You're very sincere. Integrity is the real reason you're successful. And in certain echelons, that inability is leading to what secret assessments refer to as a paradigm crisis. There is more to the study done on you than meets the eye. Your habits have been examined by behavioral analysts who are searching for foreseeable flaws. To determine your breaking point, psychological profiles have been created. Your influence network has been mapped by social engineers who are looking for weaknesses to take advantage of. However, because you work from a completely different source code, every model fails when applied to you. For those who are keeping an eye on you, your constancy under duress has become very concerning. When under stress, most individuals show their genuine selves. When questioned, most people reveal their compromises. When given the right incentives, most people display their prices. However, you have persevered through exams you were unaware you were undergoing. You've passed tests that you didn't even know you were taking. You've won trials that you were unaware were being held. There were opportunities that were ideal but required minor adjustments. There were relationships that seemed advantageous yet required covert betrayals. There were vacancies that required quiet cerners yet appeared distinguished. You overcame each one by simply adhering to your values rather than using cunning tactics. Your honesty has served as your guide across an invisible minefield. Observers have found your reaction to temptation to be very notable. Not the outspoken denial of blatant evil, but the gradual erosion of concessions that seem innocuous. Because you felt there were conditions attached, you have rejected possibilities that others might see as gifts. Because of your perception of the hidden costs, you have passed up opportunities that others would kill for. You are considered to be incorruptible due to your ability to spot complex deceptions. Something enormous has been developing in the spiritual plane while monitoring has been taking place in the physical world. It's not only that you've been protecting yourself by refusing to compromise. It has been setting you up for something so important that, like animals sensing an earthquake, sensitive individuals can sense it coming. What metaphysicians refer to as temporal distortions are being produced by the approach of your blessing. In ways that defy simple explanation, the past, present, and future are coming together around your destiny. Events that ought to take years are occurring in a matter of seconds. Relationships are emerging on their own that usually take decades of networking. Through pathways that weren't there yesterday, resources that typically require generations of buildup are coming your way. People who rely on set schedules to be in control are freaking out because of your acceleration. You're not making progress in the recommended manner. You refuse to understand that gradual development is limited. The tyranny of paying dues, which traps most individuals in cycles of endless apprenticeship, is not something you're surrendering to. Their meticulous calculations are becoming obsolete due to your quantum jumps. This speeding up of your fate is setting off alarms among businesses that make money by keeping people in regular schedules. The meticulous succession planning that supports current power structures is under danger due to your quick promotion. The progressive promotion system, which uses delayed pleasure to maintain cooperation, is in jeopardy because of your quantum leap. The scarcity concept, which keeps most individuals frantically climbing ladders that go nowhere, is challenged by your rapid manifestation. In your life, the coincidences have increased dramatically. Someone gets in touch with you after you think about them. When you need something, it shows up. Teachers appear because you want to comprehend. You need channels open and resources available. It's not a coincidence. Everything you need for your purpose is drawn straight to you because of the magnetic pull generated by your alignment with your true path. Big gifts don't come easily. The air pressure that is being created by what is approaching you is causing bodily discomfort for some people. When your name is mentioned in conversation, some people have unexplainable uneasiness. Your ascent to fame is causing others to have unsettling nightmares. Others, meanwhile, are experiencing an unexplained sense of urgency to either support you or turn away from you. You have access to resources that will make your present difficulties seem like practice runs. Overnight, your network will undergo a transformation due to the alignment of connections. There are synchronizing opportunities that will propel you ahead of others who have a big advantage. The imminence of what is ahead is so great that even those who are attempting to prevent it are unwittingly contributing to its realization. The universe is rearranging itself around you due to the gravitational pull of your own existence. In connection with your destiny, people are being repositioned. Some are being enticed to join your cause. People are being pushed aside to make room for you. As part of your constellation of transformation, yet more are being lifted with you. The cosmos is rearranging itself to make room for who you are becoming into. There is fear among the onlookers as they sense the wave of favor that is encircling your existence. The reason is because no one can stop it, not because anybody can. Normally functioning control systems are malfunctioning. Usually successful manipulation techniques are backfiring. Suppression tactics that have worked in the past are actually increasing rather than decreasing your impact. In particular, your reaction to monitoring has been perplexing. You've gained a deeper sense of tranquility instead of paranoia. You've developed more faith instead of dread. You've persisted in your advance rather than retreating. None of their models of psychology fit this pattern of response. Under investigation, you should shatter rather than solidify. Under pressure, you're supposed to break rather than to strengthen. You maintain a forceful, not passive peace. It's the tranquility of someone who knows that being seen indicates your importance. It's the peace of mind of someone who understands that monitoring is only important paperwork. It's the composure of someone who understands that research is just value confirmation. Your tranquility is a kind of battle against fear-based institutions. People who gave up tranquility for status are baffled by the delight with which you go about your life. You preserve a level of satisfaction that defies people who think suffering is a prerequisite for achievement. You exude a sense of fulfillment that undermines the perceived costs of success. It's especially disturbing that you laughed while they were investigating. Genuine delight that shows resistance to their intimidation, not tense laughing that betrays nervousness. You're not disguising your dread behind a grin. It's a genuine statement from someone who is aware of something that your audience is not. You are aware that unauthorized monitoring is only unrestricted recording of your ascent. Concerning conversation has centered on how well you slept while being watched. Insomnia affects the majority of those under investigation. The majority of the people under observation had disturbed sleep. The majority of those being investigated have nightmares. However, you're sleeping well, having strong dreams, and waking up feeling rejuvenated. This biological impossibility implies that you're shielded by something they can't understand. Your physical form is now proof of heavenly protection. Despite the strain of monitoring, your health is strong. Even while continuous observation drains your energy, it remains high. Despite the stress of constant observation, your energy rises. For those who rely on wearing others down, your physical toughness is possibly the most dangerous feature of your life. You thrive in environments that would kill most people. Your delight extends beyond your own satisfaction. The statement is prophetic. Every grin, in spite of monitoring, signals the futility of intimidation. Every chuckle in response to research declares that control techniques are no longer effective. Every instance in which you remain calm while others get agitated shows that you're using an entirely different power source. They can't account for the energy you sustain throughout the day. You should be worn out from being on watch all the time by their standards. Their calculations state that constant vigilance should exhaust you. You should be drained of persistent awareness according to their mathematics. However, you seem to have more energy rather than less as surveillance increases. Observation does not diminish your vitality. Rather, it boosts it. During this time of observation, your inventiveness has blossomed. You are creating your finest work rather than letting critique stop you. You're growing beyond past limitations rather than being constrained by observation. You're inventing at levels that even surprise you, rather than being restricted by research. Your evolution into something more powerful is being catalyzed by the pressure that should be compressing you. Watchers did not plan the full surveillance program. It served unimaginable aims and was planned by unfathomable powers. Those who watch you believe they're doing it to safeguard their interests. Actually, they're recording your ascent for future generations. Investigators think they're searching for defects. In fact, they are building an authenticity archive. Monitors believe they are keeping everything under control. In actuality, they are seeing a new paradigm evolve. The information that is being gathered about you will be used for the exact opposite reason. The evidence that is being accumulated against you will eventually be used against you. What is being gathered to restrict you will be used to free others. Your impact will grow immensely as a result of the very testimony that is being recorded to limit it. More than just your physical appearance is captured in each snapshot that is taken of you throughout this monitoring time. It records your progress and energy. More than just your words are preserved with each recording of your talks. Your frequency broadcast is archived. Each note you write about your activity explains more than just what you did. Your dimensional transition is chronicled. Future generations will study the historical records that are being generated about you. They serve as guides for breaking free, not as cautions against crossing boundaries, not as warnings about difficult systems, but as guides for change, not as instances of what not to do, but as models for what may happen when someone doesn't compromise their truth. There has been no inquiry against you. Others felt compelled to attend the masterclass you've been teaching. Every choice you made out of honesty turned into a lesson that witnesses had to see. Every wise decision you made turned into knowledge that onlookers couldn't ignore. Every action you took as principle turned into something that education watchers urgently needed but never asked for. Think about how the people watching you have learned important lessons from your everyday decisions. You exhibit power via discretion when you choose not to spread rumors when you have inside knowledge. Integrity isn't done for crowds, as seen by your dedication to quality, even in unobserved situations. Being kind to those who can't help you shows genuine character that doesn't need payment. It has been particularly perplexing how kind you have been throughout surveillance. Most individuals who are being watched become closed up and defensive. The majority of people who are being monitored get wary and reticent. However, your generosity, openness, and giving have all increased. You divulge information that may be kept private. You provide help that may not be given. Support that may be reserved is what you provide. When scrutinized, this abundant attitude defies all expectations of conduct. Watchers are reluctant students discovering that everything about success was misinterpreted, and your life has become into a walking university, because there was no need for everything given up for progress. That all was sacrificed for success was a choice. Your observers are responding differently as a result of this schooling. Enlightenment is being experienced by the first group. They're the ones who are causing your awakening via their observation of you. Those who watched realized they were seeing possibilities rather than a person. Investigators realized they were researching a system rather than a person. Monitors realized they were studying someone's methods rather than following their activity. These educated individuals are poised to become your fiercest supporters, your most influential advocates, and your best allies. Former adversaries will change their methods and follow your strategy, bringing with them contacts and resources that will help you accomplish your goal more quickly. A few members of this first cohort are already starting to doubt their assignments. Some of the observers you've spotted seem conflicted. Their watching seems more like study than inspection. Since your example goes against everything they've been taught, these people are suffering cognitive dissonance. Their tainted software is being deprogrammed by your constant integrity, installing new OSs based on genuineness as opposed to fakery. This initial group is undergoing a significant shift. Some are surreptitiously recording your techniques, not for their bosses, but for themselves, and compiling personal archives of your methodology for use as a guide should they eventually muster the will to rebel. Your example is sowing the seeds of revolution in your monitors' brains, seeds that will grow into movements for their own freedom. Retreat is taking place for the second group. Despite seeing the truth, these viewers are unable to accept it. It's great to understand your path, but you can't stop investing in outdated systems. Withdrawing from your environment while bearing the uneasy knowing that whole worldviews were based on false information. No longer opposing you, but not endorsing you either. Living in the twilight zone, when one knows better but isn't acting on it. As your influence grows, this second group will become less and less significant. They withdraw from a game they are no longer able to play, not because they have lost. Their compromise is too evident to overlook while you are around. Their shortcuts are too expensive to keep up. They will just disappear from your zone of influence rather than rise to your level. There's opposition to the third group. These are the people who, feeling intimidated by your achievement, will redouble their initial evaluations, persuading themselves that you must be concealing something and that your tactics must contain some trickery. Here's the lovely irony, however. More evidence of legitimacy will only be produced by further research. More proof of honesty will only come from ongoing monitoring. Involuntary historians of victory, unwilling witnesses to ascension. In fact, this resistive group is more beneficial to you than others. The most extensive record of your faultlessness is being produced by their frantic efforts to find fault. Their thorough examination is yielding the most thorough evidence of your genuineness. The strongest proof of your integrity is coming from their hostile probe. This cosmic drama has now reached its culmination. There is more to the impending breakthrough in your life than simply self-promotion. It is a proof of prophecy. You're going to assume a position of power that will radically alter the rules of success for future generations. You're getting close to effect dimensions that will definitively demonstrate that integrity and influence can work together, that ideals and prosperity can partner, and that righteousness and resources can cohabit. You'll need new words to explain the scope of what's about to happen in your life. There are no terms for the degree of favor approaching in the current language. The multiplication that is going to take place cannot be measured by current measurements. The growth that is getting ready to happen cannot be contained by standard structures. You're doing more than simply shattering ceilings. You're destroying the idea of limits altogether. In every area you touch, what's approaching you will set a new standard. Your financial success will show that you are wealthy without being evil. Your relationship growth will serve as an unmanipulated paradigm of connection. Your significant rise will demonstrate corruption-free authority. Without misuse, your spiritual elevation will demonstrate authority. The focus of monitoring will soon change from inquiry to instruction. Executives who are keeping an eye on your potential will want to meet with you to discuss strategies. Leaders who doubt your strategy will research tactics. Suspicious people will keep an eye out for knowledge. Those who are ready to testify against you will end up testifying for you because the change would be so abrupt. You won't believe the manner in which the surveillance period's documentation will be put to use. Reports that are intended to limit you will end up becoming suggestions that will help you. Files designed to keep you contained will end up supporting you. You will be launched by the references you use to restrict yourself. The system that was created to repress you will end up serving as the framework for your ascent. What makes your narrative famous, however, is this. No one will have to be demoted in order for you to be promoted. Nobody else's failure will be necessary for your success. Because divine justice works that way, your triumph won't need anyone's loss. To create new, it is not necessary to demolish the old. It only serves as a striking example of superior methods, rendering the old ones outdated in contrast. The boardrooms where your name was brought up as a possible danger will be transformed into classrooms where techniques are taught as remedies. Meeting spaces where influence was deemed problematic will be transformed into training grounds where the methodology will become the new norm. Offices where success was considered an oddity would turn into hubs for the policy implementation of principles. Your innovation will spread to previously unexplored sectors. Your testimony will change places you have never been. People you've never met will be inspired by your example. The monitoring that was intended to keep you in check locally will wind up broadcasting you all over the world. You will be promoted publicly as a consequence of the probe that was meant to limit you secretly. This isn't retaliation. It's atonement. For everyone, not just for you. Told that the price of achievement is compromise. Your innovation turns into a license to seek success while upholding your morals. Your rise serves as proof that integrity is a springboard rather than a barrier. Your triumph serves as evidence that doing the right thing doesn't equate to coming in last. The change will take place in phases that build on one another. Your immediate circle will be the first to feel the change. Your loved ones will see the impossibility turn into the inevitable. Your wider network will then notice the shift. Your maintained connections will abruptly become active under synchronized support. At last, people will start looking for you because of some unexplainable impact. The atmospheres will start to change only by your presence. You'll notice energetic enhancements in the rooms you visit. Joining conversations will take them to new heights. Attending meetings will result in innovative solutions. Your sheer presence will serve as a catalyst for change in areas that have been undeveloped for many generations. Your presence will have an indisputable effect. In your presence, issues that were intractable will be resolved. When you speak, conflicts that seemed irreversible will end. When you take action, perceived limitations will dissolve. You'll turn into a living remedy for issues that have bedeviled systems for many years. Your strategy will become the new resolution template. This narrative will soon be rewritten from the file that began with your name on it. What started out as a surveillance report will turn into a triumph. What began as research will turn into motivation. What started out as an effort to keep you in check will end up serving as evidence of what occurs when real power and divine timing collide. The transition is already taking place at this moment. Observers are turning into witnesses. Investigators are learning. People are starting to adore monitors. Suspicious eyes are starting to follow every action in order to develop a plan. Actions are now being studied for wisdom by minds that previously assessed them for weakness. Those who wish for failure are starting to want to discover your method. The shift from monitoring to sovereignty is happening more quickly. Forces beyond human understanding are influencing the documents being produced about you at this very now. Divine intervention is being used to modify reports that are being submitted. Cosmic correction is being used to modify the assessments that are being made. Rewriting for release is what's being recorded for restriction. You're transitioning from being watched to having sovereignty, from being seen to being admired, from being studied to being copied. Those who believe they were recording decline have inadvertently been recording ascent. Testimonies that celebrate you will replace records that were preserved to confine you. Documents designed to restrict you will turn into proof that frees others. Your onlookers have become unwitting partners in your elevation by the cosmic intelligence coordinating this reversal. Each hour spent observing you has been an investment in learning your strategies. Every resource used to look into you has also been used to finance the documentation of your model. Every attempt to comprehend your power has been an energy investment in growing your impact. Your legacy has been unintentionally co-created by those who see you. Your integrity has been independently verified by their monitoring. Your legitimacy has been independently verified by their inquiry. Your worth has been objectively validated by their monitoring. When opposing witnesses have recorded every stage of your achievement, no one can say it was self-reported. Every week, during our Zoom sessions, you may work through challenging insights with others who recognize that some of life's most traumatic events can serve as our best instructors. This is the Obsidian Inner Order. We don't promote resentment. We develop wisdom. Your talent of being able to perceive people for who they really are will shield you from betrayals in the future. Strength, not weakness, is shown by your ability to forgive while maintaining limits. Your knowledge was not given freely. It was acquired by experience. Make connections with truth-loving individuals. Join the Inner Order of Obsidian. The description contains a link. Dapi, do you recall how this started? Someone in a position of authority was specifically instructed to watch you closely. Here's how it concludes. You're giving yourself permission to continue learning from everyone who has vision. They want to do it, not because you made them, but because you encourage them and you show them how to do it, not because you asked them to. The monitoring network that was designed to keep an eye on you has evolved into a broadcast system that announces your presence. Every camera that was aimed at you to record you falling has recorded you getting up. Consistency has been documented by every microphone used to capture compromise. Every document that was submitted to show you were mistaken has turned out to show you were correct all along. Watchers were never really your adversaries, however, which is the most exquisite narrative surprise in the whole tale. They were unintentional promotion committees, accidental marketing teams, and unsuspecting publicists. In reality, every meeting where danger was mentioned raised awareness of gifts. In reality, any discussion that examined risk was recognizing power. In reality, each report's questioning techniques documented distinctiveness. Watching you for hours has been a beautiful investment in your documentation. Your archive has been funded entirely by the resources used to investigate you. The effort put out to keep an eye on you has contributed cosmically to your legacy. The most comprehensive third-party verification procedure ever carried out has been sent to you. Additionally, you passed all of the tests you were unaware you were taking. You didn't even realize you were playing, yet you did it flawlessly. You reacted sovereignly to surveillance. You responded to the inquiry with motivation. You handled examination calmly. You accomplished more than just win the game by doing this. You changed it completely. The cosmic joke is that you had power because you were worth seeing, but spectators believed power came from watching. People felt you were prey, and they were hunters. It turns out that they were students who were unaware that they were enrolled in your class, and you were the instructor. Your narrative serves as the new transcendental template. Your path serves as a roadmap for success. The proof for elevation is your example. What started out as a warning message about acting inappropriately turns into an inspirational narrative about staying by your principles. Recognize this fact that changes everything as we end this revelation. The goal of surveillance was never to stop you. Witnesses were compelled by the cosmos to see what true success looks like. Finding your faults was never the goal of investigation. The goal was to find their own. Control was never the goal of monitoring. It was about discovering what true power looks like when it is used wisely rather than evilly. Their awakening is your tale. Their education is the key to your success. Their breakthrough is yours. If one had the courage to acknowledge that everything about victory was misinterpreted, your name is now the answer at the conclusion of the file that began with your name as a threat. What started as distrust turned into jubilation after the end of surveillance. What began as fearful watching now ends in reverence. Now is your time, selected one, where being observed turns into being worthwhile, where study turns into inspiration, and where monitoring becomes into sovereignty. Previously suspicious eyes now follow you with adoration. Once scheming minds are now studying techniques. Previously hopeful hearts now want to be like you. You didn't just make it through monitoring. You turned it into a platform. You didn't just put up with the inquiry. It became validation because of you. You didn't just tolerate being observed. You turned it into a statement. And you've shown something that will be remembered for centuries to come. Integrity is not a sign of weakness. It's supreme power. Authenticity is not a constraint. It's freedom. It is not naive to do the right thing. It's the most advanced tactic available. The people who are observing you with their eyes closed have seen something unexpected. Someone who succeeds without cheating. Someone who rises without giving up. Someone who achieves success without surrendering their spirit. And your legacy is that impossible. The surveillance has ended. It's the start of sovereignty. Those who came to see saw flying instead of fall.